Hey YouTube, how you guys doing? It's Kyle here, and welcome to episode 2 of Be a Better Player. In this, I'll be showcasing attack on Temple of Anubis using Widowmaker and Soldier 76 on the PTR servers during my placement games. Because of the great feedback you guys gave me and the requests for more, I decided that I was going to make this video a little bit earlier than Season 2, which is why I'm on the PTR. These games are actually really competitive, which I was surprised by, and that's why I think that this video works so well. So let's get started. As you can see, I'm Widowmaker, and one of my favorite things to do on this map is to take high ground on the archway for the first point, looking for picks. Right there, I'm able to find a crucial pick onto the enemy Lucio as my team pushes in from the left room. Now, we do end up losing the McCree, but I'm able to counter that with a Junkrat pick. And the reason that this is so important is because it puts us at a slight advantage while we have guys pushing around them. Now, the D.Va pushes in probably too far. As you can see, she ends up dying behind the enemy team, but the good news is I'm still alive up here taking shots, and we have Reinhardt and our team pushing from the left room, which they left available to us after we got the kills. Now here you saw me push under, and that's a really risky thing, but it ends up paying off. The reason I'm taking this flanking position with Widow is that not only does it distract the enemy team, but it also gives us new lines of sight and new pathways for our shots, if you kind of know what I'm saying. So instead of shooting from the same angle, now they have to worry about me shooting behind them. Now obviously I'm missing a few shots there, but it's not too important because of how spread out we are. They have nowhere to really shield or look at once. By surrounding them like that, you can sort of force the enemy into like this panicking situation where they have no real place to target, and it's really perfect. It's like controlled chaos, right? And if you can do that, if you can get behind them and surround them, you're in an excellent position to capitalize on it. So with the success of Widowmaker there, with those first 2 picks, that's really what you're looking for if you're ever going to play Widowmaker in comp. You need to be getting those picks, and if you're not getting those picks, please remember, for the sake of your team, you're probably not being as useful as you could be on another hero. Once again, I'm able to get a nice little headshot on that Lucio. I think that right now, we need to push much harder than this. Our Reinhardt is able to knock down the enemy Reinhardt, who I take a few shots at. We get a couple of kills, but they do get a high noon up. Actually, yes, that was a high noon. I think it might have been ours. Regardless, their Lucio comes in with an ultimate. And so here's the problem. They're starting to get onto the point they have a Zarya, a McCree, and a Lucio alive, all bouncing around. Now I'm finally able to get the shot on the Lucio, but McCree is still alive and I can't finish him off. Zenyatta comes in with the ult, Reinhardt comes in as well, and our guys are just not getting enough kills to be able to take down these enemies. One of the big problems with this position for Widow is that when they have a Reinhardt like this, all he has to do is hold up that shield, and I'm not going to be able to take out any of the DPS or supports in their back line. Since we don't have anyone flanking or diving, our D.Va isn't really doing that. It's really hard to get any sort of pressure to break them or to give us a pick to get an advantage. Now here I'm trying to relocate with Widow, trying to find different lines of sight and see if I can catch anyone off. When I do jump up, I do land a few shots on the Zenyatta and the Lucio, but not enough to kill either. And that's one of the biggest problems. I wasn't able to get those fully charged in time, therefore making my headshots non-lethal. Now every time I'm jumping up, you're seeing that I'm getting discorded. Part of the problem with that is I'm going to take so much damage that not only can I not jump up now because I'm scared of getting one-shotted, but I'm almost useless because I'm not. My job is to get picks, and if I'm not getting picks, I'm not of use to my team. Now I'm also throughout this time trying to call a strat for us to start pushing through the middle altogether. But at this time an enemy Junkrat tries to flank. Now right here, had we been able to kill this Junkrat, we put ourselves in such a good position to push in. He is extremely annoying for Reinhardt because he can break down shields fast. Had we killed him there, had we put all of our guys on him trying to kill him, I think we could have pushed and won the game. Now I call for this push, we all start pushing together. The D.Va ult is placed there. I probably would have shot it to the back right, regardless it gets a kill. Now here they start pushing in as well with some counter ults, a Lucio ult, making my headshot on Zenyatta null. After that, we do end up losing McCree, and that's really important because McCree was our other DPS. Without him alive, it's almost only relying on me. Junkrat's able to come with a nice ult, they're able to counter push us back, and they just clear us out. Now right here I realize this isn't going to work. I can't stay as Widowmaker. I'm not able to get the picks. I'm not being useful. And that's sort of the idea, the attitude you need to have with any hero you play. Remember, at the highest level, people counter swap and they change heroes all the time to help the team comp. This isn't like about your you know, whatever, right? Don't worry about your confidence being hurt, whatever. You need to do whatever it takes to win games, and sometimes it means swapping heroes. The reason I like Soldier here is because it allows me to flank and gives me some great mobility to help dodge some of these ultimates, as well as Reinhardt's charges. You can get out of the way really quick with a nice Soldier speed boost from his sprint. Now, I'm flanking left side here. My job is to try to distract attention away from the main push. My team isn't pushing off of this, and as you can see now, I'm in a horrible position. I know the McCree's behind me. I know I can't engage that Junkrat, and I can't engage the Reinhardt. I try to get under. The whole reason I did that was because I wanted that health pack, but it wasn't there, and I kept running straight. This was a horrible play by me. I got caught out of position, and what I needed to do was run straight back to my team. Now, with my team not being able to capitalize on the pressure that I was taking off of them, I ended up dying for absolutely nothing, and then my team falls soon after. Now, once again, we're in this position where I'm trying to make the right call to figure out what we should do. I still think it's really important here that we push through the middle with our ultimates. We need to use them in tandem with each other and make sure we're getting a nice mercy res that's going to give us the maximum efficiency possible to take these guys down. Make sure they waste ults if possible. So here we go. We begin charging in, and one of the worst things happened. Not only do we get knocked to outer space, we end up knocking the enemy Reinhardt to outer space too. So none of us die, but it takes us off the point, away from the main push, and then suddenly we're spread out as well. Now, I am able to land a really nice kill on that Lucio with a good Helix rocket, but then Zenyatta pops his ultimate. But then I noticed the Junkrat's back here terrorizing one of my guys. I realized I can probably take him out with a nice Helix rocket. I'm able to do it, and that puts us in a great place. Right now we have 4 or 5 guys on the point. We have healers with us, we have tanks with us, but then that Reinhardt charges in and stays alive. Had he hit a wall, and had we been able to kill him, I think we win. But sadly, he was able to go straight through the doorway and survive. Now you're going to see this Winston pop up. And as you guys know, Winston is one of the hardest heroes to deal with on point when it comes to them stalling. Now I'm able to do a lot of damage to this to the Zarya, finally killing him there. And as you can see the kill feed, it's just all us, right? But look what happens. A Reinhardt comes behind, knocks a ton of us off the point, gets a nice little ultimate on us, and suddenly buys just enough time for the enemy team to get on. I want you to pay close attention to look how close we are to winning. And watch who jumps on. Winston, he's got a bubble. He puts his bubble down, so the bubble was from Zarya, and then he's even able to ult when he gets on low health. This right here is one of the worst things you can ever see, is a Winston ulting when you're about to win the game. He distracts me enough to take my attention away from the incoming new players. Reinhardt's able to charge into me, gets a nice little charge into the wall, and takes me down. Now I'm able to live through that. I run away from the Reinhardt after the res. Mercy gets a nice res on us, but they're back in numbers now, and we're starting to drop. Now, I want you guys to remember this whenever you play. It's a battle of attrition when it comes to these points, right? They are so close and they respond so fast, they're able to constantly get back in time before you can. Look at how far this walk is for us compared to them. When one of us dies, it's pretty much the same as 2 of them dying. So when they kill 2 of us, they're at a huge advantage, and we were never able to recapitalize on that. I think when you break this game down, it's just one of those these really consistently bad team push games, and I think it's really common for a lot of people. I think closing out games can sometimes be really hard. As you can see, we kept that going for like a minute and a half, but we could just never finish off the final person to get that last little bit of the capture point. I think in the end, sort of sum this up, we didn't have the teamwork necessary. I don't think that we were able to get the right kills at the right time. And what I mean by that is, we weren't able to kill people before they got off their really good ultimates. Now, one of the best ways to win games is to kill people before they can get onto the point and use their ultimate. So it'll be killing a Zenyatta before they can pop their Tranquility, or killing a Mercy the second before she can get a res. That's how you win games. And because we didn't have any explosive DPS like a McCree or a Widowmaker to headshot, they were constantly able to get onto point, abuse their health, especially with Winston and their shields, and they're able to slowly pick us off and take us down. And that is why we ended up losing the game. Now, I hope this helped you. I hope you learned something new. I hope you enjoyed the video. And honestly, thank you so much for all the support. I hope you guys have a great day. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Now, take it easy, guys. I'll see you next time, and peace.